Ghana has a history which is not the best. In 2001, inflation was 40.5% when I became Minister of Finance. In between, towards 2004, it was brought to a single digit. But we went through the HIPC process, and a number of sacrifices were made. Why do you put your people through that kind of hardship through poor management of the economy? Finally, we left the economy at a growth of 9.2% 2009 without oil. And I want to emphasize it, without oil. We found oil and accessed oil 2010-11, and growth came down to 3.5 in 2016. How do you go from 9.2% without oil, climb to 14% with oil, and come down to about 3.5 with oil? So we went to Washington, the Minister of Finance, the Vice President, and myself were talking with the World Bank, and they jokingly said, when we're talking about Ghana, we are a little bit worried about the irreversibility or reversibility of your economy. Depending on how you look at it, our economy, the management has been too reversible. What do we do to anchor gains made by the managers of this economy? And we must applaud the finance minister currently for seeing through the responsibility of the government in the fiscal management of the economy. We must think through a way to put discipline on the deficit by committing ourselves to certain limits. And the recommendation of 3.5 to 5, it is the finance minister's doing, which the economic management team has approved and cabinet has approved. So it is up to all of us in this government to make sure that no matter what our programs are, we are going to stick to our commitment. And that will help foreign and local investors. We are here to talk about Ghana, Africa's premier investment hub. I will take it in two stages. I would think that the first stage, Ghana should become the obvious investment hub for the ECOWAS. ECOWAS has a population potential of about 350 million people. This is a big market. And if we run things the way we want to run, I can assure you, our esteemed foreign and local investors, that we can become the obvious hub for investment within the ECOWAS. We have an interesting addition. The Ghanaian population, the people are naturally nice. Somebody said that has become a disadvantage. They are so nice that sometimes when you are too nice to it, it has its own implications, isn't it? But we have a very friendly people. So it is up to the managers to make sure that we run a disciplined system to ensure that people who come to operate within our system also make their money. It is very important. We decided that this economy will run in 4 thematic areas. The first is what the Minister of Finance explained, macroeconomic stability. That is not debatable. The second is also infrastructure. The whole economy can only move, it's like a vehicle, on a good infrastructure. So we're going to do exactly that. Then the third is accelerated industrial growth. We need to create employment opportunities for our people. Our number one problem in Ghana today is unemployment. And we need to create employment. And the fourth, and not the least, is to transform our agriculture. We go nowhere without taking advantage of our strongest advantage as a nation: good land, fertile land, vegetation, everything. Everything that is good for agriculture, the good Lord bestowed them on Ghana. But interestingly, for about 7 years, agriculture has performed very poorly in this country of ours. Our growth can never go up without the growth of agriculture. And therefore, the Minister of Agriculture's slogan of planting for food and jobs requires the support of everybody in this government and all foreign and local investors. The government has also come up with a number of initiatives. We think that we're talking about one district, one factory, and we are pushing it. And if you look at it very carefully, a lot of the projects will be agribusiness, because the obvious raw material you come to in Ghana are agriculture output. So that is there. We want to aid agriculture, so particularly in the north, we are talking about one village, one dam. Somebody jokingly told me in Tamale, you should add one man, one wife. But that is not part of our this. It was a suggestion from somebody. But it would help. As we look at us, we are appealing to our foreign investors for two reasons. You can't promote investment without capital. The bulk of the capital is outside Ghana. You can't promote investment without know-how. Capital alone is not enough to talk about accelerated industrial development. You need know-how. And the know-how basically is outside Ghana. It's appealing to our potential investors that we have created the environment for you to come in with your capital and with your know-how. And I can assure you that it will be protected, perhaps better than Europe. It looks far-fetched. The levels of profit you will make in our environment will be such that Europe will be nowhere near. That is the truth. Our investors know that when they make profit in Africa, it's boom, it's big. Am I right? And therefore, we are saying that the problem Africa suffers is that the protection of investment is not too guaranteed. And therefore, the risk, if in terms of measure, is too high in Africa for foreign investors. Ghana's risk will be as low as the risk you find anywhere in Europe under this government and beyond. To me, that is the only way we would become competitive. The foreign investor is already in his comfort zone. We want to attract him or her from the comfort zone. There must be something better than what is obtained where he is. His profit is 5% after all deductions. If it is 25%, 30% in Ghana, and it's guaranteed protection and the risk is as minimal as it is back home, won't he come? Know the definition of a businessman. The businessman have nose to smell money. So wherever they can make money, they move. But they moved protectively. I'm assuring you, our foreign investors, that under Akufo-Addo's government, your protection is assured. We want to use your capital, your know-how, to create that hub for Africa, particularly for West Africa. And we are determined to do it. Singapore had done it, and many other countries have done it. We are looking at not only one district, one factory. We are looking at developing the integrated bauxite. We have very huge deposits of bauxite, both in the eastern region and in Ashanti, and of very high quality. We already have alumina plant in Valco, Tema. We need to integrate backwards and link them. We have a very good deposit of iron ore, 2 huge ones in this country. We need to develop them. These things you can't develop by talking about them. You develop by having access to capital and know-how. And that's why we need you. We want to establish industrial park in every region in Ghana. In fact, at the last cabinet meeting, we approved the first major industrial park between Mauritius and Ghana to be sited between Tema and Pram Pram. We've already gone very far. An agreement has been signed with a 40-60% equity holdings, Mauritians 60, Ghana 40, and it's a huge industrial park. We want to replicate this virtually in every region. And Ghana Investment Center must be working in that direction to make sure that in the process we create employment for our people. We think that transportation is key. And since Governor Gajisberg left the Gold Coast in 1927, we have done very little to our railway development. Yet if you go to Europe, the most reliable form of transport is railway, and perhaps the safest. This government wants to develop the rail system and link us to our French neighbors by railway. Up Ghana are countries which are landlocked, and they depend on us with their goods from the harbor. We cut all these goods by road, and this gives a very short lifespan to the road network in Ghana between south and north. A railway will provide an answer to this, and we are determined to follow it. So those of you who are interested in rail business, we are there, and will give you all the encouragement to provide this system. All these businesses operate within a milieu. There's always the blood that makes business move, and that is money. Most of the businessmen want to operate where financial transactions are not only quick but reliable. We want Ghana to become the financial hub for West Africa. That a lot of the money through Africa will be moved through us here. And the Minister of Finance is doing everything possible to sanitize the banking system and make sure that we have a banking system that is reliable, that is supportive of your operations. The most important thing is that we want to make Ghana attractive to foreign and local investment. When you come, you need to partner locals, and therefore we need to also provide support to the locals. We need to have local investors with financial muscle as well. Otherwise, when you come and looking for partners and there is none, that itself will become a constraint. So whatever encouragement we would provide to Ghanaians to become strong financially, we are looking at it, we are thinking through it, and we would provide it. Because at the end of the day, charity begins at home. So Ghanaian businessmen, get ready to take the challenge. We want you to prepare yourself financially and technically to take on that relationship with foreign investors. It is a two-way valve. It must move from both directions to give Ghana the necessary strength to achieve our ambitions. Ghana has a very big advantage in the production of pharmaceuticals. And I told a joke in Kumasi when I got associated with the Pharmaceutical Association during the annual general meeting. At the ECOWAS finance meeting in Abuja, 2004, a colleague finance minister sitting by me had a cold and he was looking for a cough mixture. He called the bodyguard and whispered something into the ears. And I heard Ghana. So I was a little curious. So I asked him, look, what did you say about Ghana? He said, oh, I asked him to buy me cough mixture. And he should make sure he buys made in Ghana cough mixture. This was in Abuja. So the belief in the Ghana product is there within your system. While we were talking, the Liberian Minister of Finance also commented, oh, back in Liberia, I always buy made in Ghana drugs whenever it is available. I said, why? He said, there you are sure there are no fake drugs. The Ghanaian people, they make good drugs. So the West African market for drugs is virtually cleared for Ghana. Our pharmacy production unit is doing well, and they need to be encouraged to take the West African market. And we need additional resources from outside to push the development of pharmaceutical medicine, because the market trusts you. And when it comes to drug, the market, what determines the market is trust. And the trust is there. So I'm encouraging you, look at that area and do it. For those who have been here for a long time, you know what we went through 2014-15. I think it got its way even through the dictionary. Dumso. Dumso only means, I don't know how to explain it, but the power comes on as it is. After 1 hour, it goes off. And you don't see it again until after 4 or 5 hours. We suffered from power, not fluctuations, actual insufficiency in power production. And we have tackled it headlong, and today I think the situation has improved. We therefore have a very big room for renewable energy. And I'm appealing to investors to look at this area. We have a lot of sunshine. We have many flowing rivers. We need to look at renewable energy for Ghana to support whatever we have. Mr. Chairman, Mr. Minister of Finance, captains of industry, foreign and local investors, this government is preparing the way to enable you play a role in promoting and doing business in Ghana. We have our target, making Ghana the hub of business in Africa, the least for West Africa. And we are telling you to come over and support. We will, on our part, provide the necessary environment. And I'm using the word environment advisedly. We'll provide you with the microeconomic environment to protect the money you make, or provide you with friendly laws that will minimize your risk.